Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now November 10th of 2023, and I think it's pretty much universally known at this point that Disney has had the absolute worst year for all of 2023, not just limited to their Disney stock hitting a decade low, but also due to the fact that they have been dealing with box office failures, one after the other, including the Marvels, which is already underperforming and not really getting good press as it is. We also have Snow White 2025 on the horizon, and let's not forget about Wish, which is now actually anticipated to underperform at the box office as opposed to their initial projection of it being the saving grace for 2023. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, the one thing about Rachel Zegler is that she really was the source of really diminishing whatever was left of Disney's image just a couple of months ago, mind you. Everything that she said about Snow White 1937, about the prince being a stalker, everything that she did come out and made very clear about Andrew Burnap getting cut from the film and how that's a big possibility, you know, the famous line, "That's Hollywood, baby," all those different things really tarnished what was ever left of Disney's image and how they were actually presenting Rachel Zegler, and that whole PR disaster that did actually unfold. Now, what's interesting about what's been happening since then, we know that she was let go and fired from numerous Disney roles and Disney movies that she was supposed to be a part of, and this is where matters get even worse. Now, we know that Rachel Zegler's career is pretty much going down the toilet. We all know that her team, her agent and manager, are also getting into a lot of issues. Let's discuss. Now, with Rachel Zegler currently dealing with the backlash and criticism for Disney's Snow White, one major development has to do with her reaction to getting fired by Disney from multiple projects. As it turns out, one crucial update surrounding this ongoing drama is that Zegler is now fully prepared to make a direct and bold statement calling out how unfair Disney is, with their recent decision to let her go from a total of 4 films for starters. The plan by Zegler is to call out Disney with both Jennifer Lawrence and Peter Dinklage by her side by the end of this month, where Zegler already arranged this via her team as well, such as her agent and manager, who are already desperately trying to work out a deal with Disney. Zegler reportedly pushed her team to try and reason with Disney to reinstate her for those roles, which consist of at least one Pirates of the Caribbean movie, an animated film codenamed Dream, and 2 live-action films that are planned to be a part of Disney's new spy film franchise that they are creating in an attempt to compete against Paramount, since Skydance is now moving forward with making more Mission Impossible films behind, of course, the scenes for Dead Reckoning Part 2, which is now getting retitled to something new entirely. In addition to this, Zegler's spy film franchise deal that was active for months went sour due to her ruining Disney's image when she made the comments that she did about Andrew Burnap and Snow White 1937. Now guys, let me just say one thing about this before I move on real quick, is that we know that Bob Iger, we talked about this months ago, right around when Dead Reckoning Part 1 dropped, Disney began developing their new spy film franchise behind closed doors. They are creating their own take on creating a Mission Impossible competitor. And Rachel Zegler was offered those 2 roles, the first 2 movies to kind of be established. The fact that we have this whole situation unfolding between Zegler and her team, her agent and manager, really running into a lot of issues with Disney, you know, the board of directors, Bob Iger, really not wanting anything to do with Rachel Zegler anymore, because we all know what she did with the overall, you know, system when it comes to how she views Snow White, how she views Disney, and what they've been doing with her as an actress. She's going to begin to call them out. She's going to use Jennifer Lawrence and Peter Dinklage to back her up, which I think is very desperate. Not a big surprise. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is right up there on the insufferable list. We have, of course, someone like her who claimed before in the past that she is and was the first female action star, so to speak. We all remember that, right? When Jennifer Lawrence really claimed that thing, and then she kind of backtracked that. Well, it's not as a big surprise that she's backing Rachel Zegler, because as it turns out, she was actually a consultant for Rachel when it came to the Hunger Games Songbirds and Snakes. Now, moving onwards. Now, Zegler is currently desperately attempting to get these roles back, and part of her statement that is planned to call out Disney is set to also shed light on also calling out the unfairness in Hollywood. Zegler's spy film franchise deal was set to be her highest paid project, even more than the Pirates reboot movie that she had lost from Disney. Zegler also behind the scenes had heated arguments, as it turns out, with her team, such as her agent and manager, to the point that Zegler reportedly blamed her agent for mishandling her PR disaster from all the Snow White drama that happened a couple of months ago. In addition to this as well, this created a serious disconnect between Zegler's manager and agent that is creating many issues with the roles that she has been in the talks with by multiple studios, many of which have already dropped her. And not just due to the Snow White drama, but also after learning about Disney dropping her internally from multiple roles that were nearly finalized and set to be announced by the new year. Now, Zegler's statement is also planned to call out Bob Iger directly, something that her agent and manager carefully reviewed behind the scenes in a desperate attempt at damage control for Zegler's career. Zegler's Pirates role was also handed over to actress Jenna Ortega, who recently shot down many Disney offers after their woke agenda did not drop after multiple requests. Now, we talked about this too, about how Jenna Ortega took over many of Rachel Zegler's roles that were actually, diminished or, X'd out from or axed, and basically Jenna really put a lot of those projects to the wayside because a lot of those agendas Disney did not want to give up, and they were trying to negotiate some kind of a deal where Disney would drop everything related to ESG and DEI with those projects that Jenna was in the process of pretty much, replacing Zegler with. And the only thing that remains right now is that Ortega is taking over Zegler's Pirates of the Caribbean film, as well as that one animated movie codenamed Dream. We talked about this too. So basically that codenamed Dream animated film is said to be a combination of Monsters, Inc. and basically kind of combining elements of Elemental into the mix into one movie. That's basically the theme or the overall tone that Disney's reaching for with that film. So again, we know that Rachel Zegler's career is pretty much down to nothing at this point, not just because of what she did with Disney, by really kind of just saying what she said about Snow White, saying what she said about Andrew Burnap, and how Disney took action afterwards, and rightfully so, by the way. I'm not defending Disney by any means, but at the very minimum, I think that they did make the right call to let her go and fire her from all these different roles that she was being offered via Disney, and how that is now leading to Zegler, her manager, her agent, beginning to basically fall apart and have all these disagreements with each other. So, overall, guys, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this ongoing drama below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.